What's poppin'? My name is Richie and today I want to show you how to build your own car. We're using a Rocket League car in this example, the Octane, but this can basically apply to any car. I'll show you some tricks and tips that I use, and with that being said, let's go into it. Alright guys, so I make this as simple as possible for you guys. I know a lot of you guys like the speed builds, but I think it's easier to just follow along if I do it step by step. And I will show you guys how to how I started doing this. Obviously they're unique in different ways and how you can do it as well, but I'll show you my ways on how I do it. And the first way on how I start building cars in general, just building stuff, is I look at the original one that I want to build, and I look for like key features. So for example, the Rocket League car, as you can see here, has this straight line from the hood to the roof. So it is basically a straight line, and that is something that is very unique that you have to put in. Otherwise, the car will not look as you know like the original one. Also, we have these like very easy key features like the chassis and the motor on the back, the spoiler. These are obviously very easy things that you can do. But you have to obviously also look at the small details, like the height of the car and stuff like that. So for this car, it's obviously very easy to make it look very realistic because it has so many key features that are very easy to remake. All right, when we now figured out what we want to build and what the key features of the build are that we're trying to do, is I build a foundation or like some kind of like structure layer first. Depending on how hard it is to me to figure out and how to get the dimensions right, I usually use the ring gallery for this. In the case of the Octane, I actually didn't do that, but I just show you here so you can get a broad example of how to do it. It always depends on how complex the build is. And the Octane car is, even though it looks a little bit complex, it is not really that complex. I start building shapes that look like the thing that I want to build. And I use the ring gallery, as already said. And you can see here, this is like the front hood here. So this is the hood, this is the window, and this is the roof. So in the case of the Octane, I started with the hood because I think it's like a very nice key feature where you can start with, and it's easy to go up from there. But depending on what you want to build, make sure that you look for a key feature that you feel comfortable with starting out. So I use the hood here, and the hood is just made out of two basic things. It is this piece right here. By the way, all pieces that I used are from the primitive shape gallery to make it easier. Is this piece right here. All you have to do with this piece is make it flat. So if you go into your options, you can do it like this, and then make sure that you just scale it correctly. And what I did here is because I wanted to go like a little bit like spread out. So you can see that this a little bit spread from the middle, like this part here is smaller than this part on top of here. I basically put two of them and then spread them out like on the top. So we can get this little hood design here. And then for the lower part here, I just put a random like cube here and just scale it a little bit wide. So the next thing that I did is I built the roof and the windows. And for this also same thing, we only use two pieces. This piece right here, this small one here, is probably the most used piece in this whole build because it is so versatile. You can do so many things here. It is this piece right here, and you can scale it so tiny. You can do so many things with this. So I use this for the connections between the hood and the roof. And for the roof, again, I use this piece right here, right? This big one. The reason why we're using this piece is because cars are rarely never like fully flat. Yes, you could use the normal cube and it wouldn't make too much of a difference, but I like that it actually has a little bit of like the roundness, so it looks more realistic to the actual Octane. And then same thing for the back here. I use these small thing here, just put them down. You don't have to do anything perfect here by now, right? So all you want to do is make sure that it looks okay and decent. You can always fine tune it afterwards. You can see on my original Octane that it's still not like any near perfect, right? You can see how parts are sticking out here. But obviously in Fortnite Creative, it's not that easy to get anything perfect if you couldn't get it even perfect by any means. So just try to make it as good as you can and then leave it or adjust it later if you need to. Otherwise, you get frustrated. Okay, up next, I started building the foundations, you can say, of the chassis or the shape of the car. And for this one, all you have to do is use this piece right here. So it's this curved piece, the quarter curve, and just scale it out a little bit. So what you need to do here is basically, you can see here if you put the scales here. If you scale it in one direction, you can see how it's like basically shaping like this. And this is like perfect for the Octane shape. And this piece in general is very good for cars because it has these like different shapes. So it's really good to use for that. And then same thing on the on the top here, I used the same piece that we used all over the windows here. Just get it up a little bit longer. You can rotate it out if you want to, or you can leave it like that, depending on how you want to have it. But this piece is just a lifesaver in this car. What you want to do then, obviously, is just copy and paste it to the other side. So you don't need to readjust everything. So all you do is just copy and paste it and just put it over here, and you should be good to go. The next thing that you want to do is starting building the foundation of the car. So what I did, I just put a big black block here, which is like the underground of the car, and then I put these same thing. These are these big ones right here. So this one for the where you put the tires on in the end, and that is basically all you have to do. For the back piece here, you don't have to use this curved piece. I just used it because it was like convenient to use. And for the last thing, you have to do this little like thing here. Same thing, we use this big piece and just scale it down a little bit. The Octane has this weird window shape. Sadly, this piece is a little bit of a pain because it will stick out here if you place it not correctly. And that will like kind of give you some headaches if you then fill this whole thing out here. You can see like it is a little bit of a headache to put that perfectly in here so it doesn't look like that like bad. But after you filled everything out and then you can readjust it and it shouldn't be that big of a problem, but it is still, I would say, the biggest headache in your whole car here. And then if you're done building the basic foundation of your car, you can obviously fill these pieces out here. You can fill out the windows. I use the normal black pieces, but you can also use the reflecting ones, like the reflecting cube. So if you go into, let's say cube, oh, that's not cube. If you go into cube galleries and then go to galleries, let me quickly put that out here. So the cube gallery has these little shiny ones here, like these, where they have a little bit of reflection. These obviously look a lot better in windows, but depending on how big you want to do it, like if you want to have a very small car or whatever, they might be a little bit too big. So you probably have to adjust with different windows or whatever. But other than that, just fill it out. Try to use as little pieces as possible to fill them out to make it cleaner. But I cannot really say anything like, yo, you have to build this piece or this piece because in the end, it all turns out on how you build this. And you have to just figure out yourself how to fill it in perfectly. Shouldn't be that big of a problem though. So if you're done filling out everything and if you're done with the basic foundation of your car, you can start adding little details. So for the Octane, on the back here, there is a little like a motor thing. And basically, I built this out of the same piece here, this piece right here, this piece right here. Just a big block in the middle and then one on top and then two on the sides. Looks perfect, looked fine. It's not the most detailed by any means, but it's easy to build and just color them differently and it should be good to go. For the spoiler, yet again, I used this piece, this one right here, and then scaled out like a little bit to the back here. Then I used actually a different piece. This is like actually I think the only different piece that we used here, and this is this like triangle. You can also find that in the primitive shape gallery. It should be somewhere here. Here, there's different versions of it. So depending on which car you build, there should be like any triangle that you need. And then for the lower side here, we use also different pieces, which I think personally are, where are they? They're these pieces right here. So all you have to do is scale them down a little bit and you should be good to go. For the back engine and the exhaustion, same thing, just a big block and then used all of these little pieces here. These are all the same. This one is just a half curve that I used here, just a bigger one. And then same thing here, also these and these. And don't be too scared to like mess around with them a little bit. Shouldn't be that big of a problem. Just color them different and you should be good to go. So building the tires is super easy. Thankfully, there is actually a piece which looks almost like a tire already, and this is this piece right here. And then all you have to do is basically put in the rims, and I use this little piece right here. Obviously colored it a little bit. I think this is gray. Yeah, it's gray. And then I use same thing. I use these pieces here as the little things between. Then just put one little circle in the middle. This is the smallest circle you can do, so just be careful if you want to build any smaller. This middle thing might not be possible, but you can see if I delete this, I mean, it's not looking that bad without it, but it looks a little bit cleaner with it. I would actually recommend building this one directly on the on your car. This is probably the only one where I would recommend this because of the rings and stuff like that. You have to look how it looks if you put them into the car here. So building this outside could be a little bit problematic and will look like a bit bad if you just put it on. But other than that, everything you can basically build all the other things outside of the car and then just put it on, and you should be good to go. Then you have your octane ready to go. Also, I almost forgot that I didn't even mention that for the tires here, I use these half pieces, and then same thing with the where is it? This piece right here. All you have to do is scale it a little bit to the left or the right side, so you can see like how it's going in this direction. And then you should be easy. Just place them on there. Make the front ones a little bit smaller than the back ones, and you should be good to go. And that is basically on how you can build your own Rocket League car or car in general. Hopefully this could help you. Hope you can use some of the tips that I gave you here. And you can build your own Rocket League cars. Let me definitely know. You can join the Discord, put them in the art showcase there. And yeah, I would like to see what you built. And I will see you guys back in the next video. Bye.